So a very good afternoon to all. So today we'll be discussing about one address instruction format. So one address instruction format means tell me ma, what type of organization will be using in one address instruction format? What type of CPU organization will be using in one address instruction format? Will be using one address instruction format ma. Are we using yes
Single accumulator.
yes single accumulator organization will be using in one address instruction format. And let me write the expression is x equals to a plus b into c plus d. Okay, now whenever we are in a one address instruction format, listen carefully. I already said that. So in a one address instruction format, let us consider if there is an add, if there is add b indicates this already a, one of the operand called a will already be loaded in an accumulator. So we'll be in a one address instruction format, we'll be using load and store. Hope that everyone knows the difference between a load and store, right? So load is what, store is what ma, fast answer me. So in one address instruction format, we'll be using a load and a store. So in one of the class I explained about what is a load. Load indicates we are loading the operand which is present in a memory into an accumulator. So load will be using in one address instruction format a load and a store. So load indicates we are loading in an accumulator the operand value. Okay, means in 100, if we have an a at a location called 100 and the data is 10, that will be loading inside an accumulator. Store is what? Store is what? Store is,
Accumulator to memory.
yes ma, good. So store is after performing any operation, addition, subtraction, multiplication, after that you will be getting a result. Let us consider the result is 30. That result you are storing back in one particular address called 400, and you will be storing 30 in that store. Okay, so whenever you are loading, the previous constant whatever that we have in an accumulator must be stored inside a memory. That is our main concept. If you're not storing the accumulator content in any one of the memory location, then whatever the operations that we performed will be lost. Okay, so let me start with x equals to a plus b into c plus d. So in this we'll be starting with the first one called a load. Okay, so load a. Okay, load a indicates inside an accumulator we are loading the memory value. So here m of a. Okay, so it goes to the memory location a, and whatever the data that is present will be stored inside an accumulator. So for every instruction you can even go for a diagram also, like writing a memory and giving a as some address called 200. If you go to the 200, you will be getting the data as 10, and you are placing inside an accumulator as 10. Okay, so how much way you explain, it will be you can score maximum marks. So here load a indicates it goes to that memory location, and whatever the data that is available will be stored inside an accumulator as load a. Next is what, after loading we need to perform an addition. So simply I can write with one operand called add b. This indicates what ma, we already discussed. Add b indicates we are storing inside an the result of a accumulator contents which are present, a contents which are present in accumulator will be added with a b, and the result will be stored back in an accumulator. So accumulator plus m of b. Okay, accumulator plus m of b means what, inside this accumulator we have m of a plus m of b, we'll be going to m of b location. So in m of b location, let us consider it is 300. Let us consider it is 300, and we have a data called 10. So this 10 which is there in the memory location, which is b address, and the accumulator that we stored while loading 10, both will be added, and the result will be stored back in accumulator, and the result will be stored back in accumulator, and the result will be stored back in accumulator. So this is add b. Okay, next this is completed. So this is completed. Now now when for this operation, so for this operation to do, I cannot go directly for load c. Okay, so if I do load c, what happens? Can anyone? If I say load c, what happens? Can anyone? Now the result in accumulator is what? Is it 10 or 20? The
20,
result in
ma'am.
is 20. So what I'm doing, we have in an accumulator 20. So what I'm doing, instead of doing anything, simply I'm saying load c. What happens? Whatever that we have in a c called 20, 30, so this 20 will be removed and you will be getting 30, which that should not happen. Okay, whatever the processor has performed called a plus b, that has to be stored in some other location, then we can go for a load. So for that, what we have to do is, directly instead of going for load c, what operation that we performed using an accumulator called a plus b must be stored in some location. So for that we have to go for store. Okay, so that's the reason you should be very clear about what we are doing with for load and for store. Okay, so I'm going for store. Okay, some location, some memory location called t. Okay, I can go for x, but final result has to be stored in x, so that's the reason I'm taking t. Okay, so this is your memory, this is your memory. So where this is the location, t location, and in this we have a plus b result, which is 30. Okay, now I saved safely whatever the a plus b is there. Now I can load c, I can load c now. Okay, so if I load c, what happens, ma'am? What is this, what we have done, whatever that we have in an accumulator value called 30, we stored in a memory location t. Okay, next what we are doing, we are loading the c we are in an accumulator, we are going to m of c. We are placing m of c contents in an accumulator, which is load c. Next is what? Add d. So what we have to do, add d indicates what, ma? The accumulator contents which are present in accumulator. Let us consider in an accumulator in a c location we have a 10. So now accumulator equals to 10, and d value equals to 5. D in an address d, we'll be having a data 5. So you'll be having accumulator, the accumulator contents plus the m of d location data. So in m of d we have a 5, in m accumulator we have a 10. Both will be added and the result will be stored in an accumulator, which is 15 now. Okay, so accumulator value is 15, and accumulator is storing a c plus d value. Okay, now we need to perform multiplication. So now we need to perform a multiplication. So in order to do multiplication, already one of the operand, let us consider this is one operand, this is one operand, so we need to do mul. Okay, so mul, just tell me what we need to do. One of the operand is present in an accumulator, the other operand is present where?
T, ma'am.
So we need to do multi. So what happens if I do multi? So inside an accumulator, you will be having a plus b, which is,
Accumulator plus M of
yes,
T.
accumulator plus m of t, accumulator plus m of t. Okay, next finally what we need to do, finally the result of a plus b into c plus d is present in an accumulator. Now finally what we need to do, next step is what?
In X.
What? Store
Store the value in X.
Yes, very good. So store X. So store X. Whatever we have in an accumulator, we have in an accumulator A plus B into C plus D, that is present in an accumulator, that has to be stored in one location given in the question paper. So it is given in the task X equals to. So we need to give in an M of X location, we have to store the result. So in this location, we have to store the result. So this is one address instruction format. So whenever we are discussing, we are going to a one address instruction format, you will be having a load and a store concept. You will be having a load and a store concept. And whenever you are loading a new expression, whenever you want to load a new C inside that, so you need to store somewhere the previous result A plus B inside a memory. So that is, this is your one address instruction format. So let me go for the other instruction format, which is zero address instruction format. Zero address instruction format means CPU organization is what?
Stack, ma'am.
Yes, stack organization. So write down everyone, side heading zero address instruction format. So in zero address instruction format, we'll be using a stack concept. So it is very much easy. So we'll be using a stack concept. The same expression we will be using for all one address, two address, three address. So A plus B into C plus D. Okay. So now, so first what we have to do, we listen all of you, ma'am. Let me show the screen. So whenever we are performing a zero address instruction format, if the expression given is simple, then we can go directly solving based on the highest precedence and associative rule. Okay. So in some cases, if you cannot, then you can convert the given expression in postfix. Based on that, you can do. Okay. So now I'm not doing any postfix expression here. I'm directly doing, as the expression given is simple. So what I'm doing is, but internally it will be converting the given expression to postfix expression. Then based on that, it will be writing the expression. So here I'm not doing. So I will be showing that type of instructions also. But try to understand, here we are discussing about zero address instruction format. So in a zero address instruction format, we'll be using a concept called a stack. And whenever you are using a concept called a stack, you try to represent for each and every information with the help of a stack diagram. Okay. So here whenever you are using stack, means we'll be using two operations called a push and a pop. So whenever you are pushing the data, so here I'm using a concept called a push A. Okay. So and after that, for this corresponding diagram, you try to write as a stack. So now top of the stack is what? Top of the stack is A. So you, how to write this mnemonics is TOS. So in top of the stack, you have a A. Okay. Next we need to push B. Next is push B. Next you will be having first A already there. Next you have B. Next top of the stack is B. You need to write with an expression, each and every expression with a stack diagram. Next, after that, we have an operator called plus. So perform add. So whenever you are performing add, what happens, the top two elements from the stack will be popped and the addition operation will be performed and it will be pushed into the stack again. So now top of the stack will be what? Now top of the stack will be A. Now top of the stack will be A plus B. A plus B. Okay. Next, after that, this we need to do. Okay. So next is what? Push C means what? Push C means we have already A plus B. Next, we need to push C. For every time you try to write this. So for this, you'll be having B. For add, you'll be having, I will be showing again in PPT. Top of the stack as for add A plus B. And here top of the stack is C. Next push D. Next push D. Next you will be having already A plus B. Next above that you have a C and you have a D. Now top of the stack is D. Okay. Next Next, what operation is there between two operands? What operator?
Add.
Add. So add means what happens? Top two elements from the stack will be popped and add operation will be performed and the result will be pushed into the stack. So the stack view will be looking, it will be looking like A plus B, and top two elements called D plus, you will be popping C. So C plus D, you will be performing an operation called addition and the result will be pushed into the stack. So now this is your stack. Next what? Next what operator is there? What is this?
Multiplication, ma'am.
Multiplication. So again a mul. Mul means again a top two elements will be popped from the stack. So we have one side C plus D and an operator mul, and you will be having A plus B. You will be performing A plus B and the result will be stored, pushed into the stack. Now what? Now next last step is what? The result has to be placed in X. So for that we need to, finally the result is available in the stack. So we have A plus B into C plus D. So finally pop and place a memory address plop X. Means what happens? The entire result whatever we have in the top of the stack element will be placed in a memory location M of X. So let me show this clearly in PPT SMA so that you can understand. So see here. So zero address instruction format, but along with this you even have to draw the stack topmost elements. Okay, so this is an example where we have considered X equals to A plus B into C plus D. So we are push A, and next we the top of the stack is A, push B, add, and push C and D, and you will be adding and you will be multiplying, and the final result is in the top of the stack, and we'll be popping pop, and the location we need to specify the memory location X as it is mentioned as X equals to, and we are placing in that whatever we have in a topmost element in the stack we will be placing in a memory location. See here, to evaluate arithmetic expressions in a stack computer, it is necessary to convert the expression into reverse Polish notation. Means it is necessary to convert it into
Postfix, ma'am.
yes, we need to convert it into postfix, but when it is needed to convert is when the instruction which is given is somewhat more complicated. Okay, so let me revise once again the four address formats. So this is our three address formats. So in this we have done this operations, along with this we have done this R1, and we stored this add R1 comma A comma B is nothing but we'll be going to the memory locations A, B, and the result we are storing in R1. So it is showing M of A plus M of B, and the result is storing in R1. Next, add R2 comma C comma D indicates which is going to memory location C and D, which is performing an addition, and the result is storing in R2. And similarly it has to store the result, the final result has to be stored in X. So A plus B is present in R1, C plus D is present in R2. Both we are performing a multiplication operation, and the result we are mentioned as a memory location. So in this way we discussed about three address instruction format, two address instruction format, one address instruction format, and zero address instruction format. Okay, so now I want to explain which one the advantages. Okay, so see here, when coming to three address instruction format, see here ma, what is this? How many instructions are there? Only three, right? So if you write three, it's enough. But can anyone tell me it is easy. So see here, the advantage of three address format is that it results in short programs when evaluating arithmetic expressions. Is it? Yes. When compared, this is your two address instruction format. When compared to the other instructions, it is somewhat less. Okay, but But the disadvantage is what, ma? Can anyone? What is the disadvantage?
More memory usage.
Yes, yes, yes. It requires the instruction format is very lengthy. Why? Because we are mentioning along with an opcode address 1, address 2, address 3. Okay, so this is somewhat a more bits. A binary coded instructions require too many bits to specify three addresses. Okay, so an example of a commercial computer that uses three address instruction is a Cyber 170. Okay, now let me go for two address instruction format. So in two address instruction formats, most commonly we'll be using in the commercial computers, where whenever you are doing a move operation, here again each address field can specify either a processor register or a memory word. Okay, so move means it will be moving the data either from a register or from a memory. So it either from memory it stores inside a register, so it will move indicates it is moving from memory to a register. Okay, so this is an example that we have considered. So x equals to a plus b into c plus d. Okay, so when coming to one address instruction format, it is a accumulator. It is an accumulator. Maybe I will be using an accumulator process where one of the operand will be in an accumulator, the other operand will be getting from a memory, will be getting from a memory location. So where we'll be mentioning only one address, and that address, based on that address, and the other will be available in an accumulator. So this is your zero address instruction format. We'll be using a stack. And first of all, in order to do zero address instruction formats, first we need to convert the given expression into a postfix expression. Then we need to do the zero address instruction.